Hey guys, it's Vanessa Espinosa again. This time I'm doing something a little bit different than I normally would do. I mean, yes, I've done countdowns on my channel before, but this is a specifically special countdown. Now, for those of you who don't, who can or can't see on my outfit, Mickey Mouse is on my shirt. Yeah, Mickey Mouse is on my shirt. So, he's going to be popping in to help me in this countdown, as well as a bunch of other special guests. So, here we go. This is definitely going to be a top whatever. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to make this a top 10 based on my favorite video games of all time. Now, I was originally going to dig out everything to show you guys the copies, but some of you may know what I'm talking about, some of you may not. So without further ado, without any more interruptions, oh, I forgot to mention, not only will Mickey be helping me out, but several other characters as well, from their respective titles that I am going to mention on this list. So, don't be surprised if you hear multiple voices. So don't freak out, don't worry about it, it's fine. So, now that I've got that covered out of the way, oh, and also, a few rules. I will not be talking about mobile games. Well, I will be talking about one, but then again, there is another version of it, so really I won't be breaking this rule. So, yeah, no mobile games on this list. I'm sorry, Unchained Key, even though I like you, no mobile games on this list. I'm sorry. I've already covered you enough. But anyways, here we go. Without further ado, actually, to make this interesting, let's make it a top 20 since I have a lot of favorite nostalgic video games. Some might trigger nostalgia, some may be fairly new. So don't be surprised. But some of these franchises will not have character voices installed. So here we go. Number 20. Now, I did have a very hard time putting this list together. So, I mean, number 20 is a game I have been playing since, I want to say, I recently purchased this game 2 years ago from GameStop, and that is Tales of Symphonia Chronicles. Now, the reason I like this game is because I really like how there was a little bit of a Final Fantasy element to it, whereas like the MP and the HP being numbers instead of a scale, and then if you filled up a limit bar, you got to execute a special command. But this time, by doing so, you had to click down one of the analog sticks. Now, I have personally not beaten this game yet, but Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, I have beaten the first side, and I have reached the second side. The first side took place in, you start out in the village of Iselia. You play as this kid named Lloyd Irving. Tagging along with Lloyd Irving on his journey, you have Genus Sage, Rain Sage, Colette, I forgot what her last name is, but her name is actually short for Nicolette, which is Born of Angels, which centers a lot around her. This game centers a lot around her. She is the chosen of regeneration, and we're basically guiding her throughout the different steps of her journey to conquer seals. Now, am I the only one that if you listen to the voice actor for Lloyd Irving, you automatically think Robin from the original Teen Titans? That's legit one of the main reasons I like this game, because it did bring back a lot of nostalgic cartoon memories for me too. But anyways, the characters have a lot of different things, like Rain Sage, that's R-A-I-N-E. Rain and her brother Genus, they're good at magic. Colette is good at angelic powers as well as magic. Now, Lloyd and Kratos, those two are a different story. Lloyd is very good at strength, while Kratos, spoiler warning for those of you that have not played, they mentioned a group called the Four Seraphim. Kratos is one of them. So, like Colette, Lord Kratos is an angel. So, and Kratos and Colette's wings basically pretty much look the same, except for Colette's wings are like a mixture of, I want to say pink and purple. But anyways, yeah, I really did like that series. I was first recommended it by a girl named Kai Zilly. If you don't know who she is, she used to work at our local GameStop up here. Now, number 19 would probably most likely be Crash Tag Team Racing. Now, again, I'm not going to feature anybody in this, but the reason I sort of like Team Racing, but sort of hate it at the same time, and the reason why it's so low on this list, is because racing was definitely one thing I was never good at, and I'm still not very good at to this day. I'm still not very good at it. But I at least try, and the thing that I really like about this, though, is you can interact with the characters, and at some points, you do get to choose who you play as. Which, one of my brothers was like, always be engine, or merge with engine, which is another thing. You can merge up to, let's see, you and another car. I don't think you can merge to 3 cars, but it would be kind of cool to do that. The main thing that, another main reason I don't like this game is because the AI, for some reason, is better than you at some points. And it's like, it's hard, especially for me with my visual impairment. I can't always beat the AI. I can't always be smarter than the game. Now, there are some games that I will talk about on this list that I can be smarter than the game. But Crash Team Racing is not one of them. Although I do love the game, I do love the story, but how many people look at Willy Wonka Chiefs and go, this guy creeps me the fuck out? Yeah. That's definitely me. That guy creeps me out. Moving on. Number 18 is another Crash Bandicoot game. Crash Nitro Kart. Now, this is a game that I also used to play when I was a little kid. But the reason why it's so low on this list is because, like, it's not... Okay, look. The story, I like the story. But again, I'm a very bad racer, which couples with my visual impairment. I'm a bad racer, and it's like, no offense, but some of the voice acting is grating on my ears. Like Cortex, okay? Cortex's voice for that game is... ew. Now, Crash's voice for that game, on that matter, is an alright voice for him. I can picture that, which is understandable. But Cortex, on the other hand, he's had better voice acting roles. I'm sorry. Number 17 would definitely be, would definitely probably take the cake for me with, oh, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but, no, I'm going to save that one for my top hated games, which some of these will reappear. Number 17 will probably end up being Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses. Now, why would I include this on this list? I love this game. I really do. I mean, the character dynamics and everything. I mean, this is my top 10 best video games of all time. Or my top 20, excuse me. Duelist of the Roses, when I first started playing this, when you first get into the game, you're like, what the fuck am I looking at? Because some of these guys, their names change. Like, Yami Yugi is Henry Tudor, which this is centered around like a historical event, or at least trying to. But I feel that it was trying too hard. Nonetheless, I still like the game. You know, I like it. It's not a bad game, except for when you get those opponents that like to drag out the battle. Then it's legit boring. It takes the fun out of it. I do like some of the animations, though, which is really cool. Like the animation for Goddess of the Third Eye, which is one of my favorite monsters. I don't believe Mystical Elf really ever had an animation. And if she did, it probably would have been a still one. But yeah, Goddess of the Third Eye. Dark Magician has one, which is really neat. Dark Magician Girl, I believe, has one. But anyway, I'm rambling again. The main point of this game is you get to duel like a lot of different people from the show, such as Rex Raptor, aka Dino Boy, Weevil Underwood, aka Bug Boy, well, really, I have a new name for him, Senna Pistol. Now, the reason I say Senna Pistol is because Centipede And with his attitude and the way he acted in the show, he could be a bit of a pistol at times. Like, when he tricked this kid into snagging an insect deck into Joey's, or an insect card into Joey's deck. But instead of giving him something worth the trade, he ends up giving him a Gokabor card, and everybody has them sons of bitches, including me! I have 3 Gokabors in my trading card collection. Okay? So, that was number 16. Number 15... I mean, seriously, no doubt in my mind. Number 15 has to be, some of you guys are gonna really hate me for this, but number 15 has to be Kingdom Hearts Chain or Rechain of Memories. While the story is a good story, I mean, I love this story, but if you're trying to attempt a Yu-Gi-Oh! Ripoff, you did a horrible job of it, Square. You really did. You did a horrible job at it, because, like, I mean, I will say that you did polish up Riku's side of things, but there are still some things wrong with it. Like, how some of the decks, I mean, I understand that they get automatically customized and you got a thing on your feet, but Sora's side mainly, in a deck, you're only supposed to have like 40 cards, or so, 40 or 50, depending on the situation. But I have seen people be able to just keep increasing their CP and keep adding. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Teal Game Master or somebody found a way to add 100 cards into their deck as Sora. I would not be surprised. Whereas Riku, he kind of has an unfair hand with the decks being customized. Like, for example, Wonderland. I would not recommend dueling in Wonderland, because you probably only have 10 to 15 cards. And that's... And another thing, we've seen Riku use magic spells before. So, why didn't you give him any magic cards? You gave him attack cards. You gave him cards that can heal, you know, refresh his deck or whatever. Hell, you gave him... The best thing I could say that you did for Riku's story is giving him that Mickey card. Oh, and Dark Mode. Oh god, Dark Mode was awesome. But still, I don't like the game because of that particular premise. I mean, I understand that you have to think on your feet, which I've already stated on that. I'm not going to touch on this too much. But Larxene, that sadistic bitch, I swear to God, you get the satisfaction of fighting her bitch ass twice, and when you finally kill her, you're like, thank fucking God. But as far as Riku's story goes, killing the replica was the moment that definitely made me cry. That and every time that Riku and the King actually physically reunited. That, I don't know, killing the replica for some reason made me cry. Some of you can beg to differ on that, but you get the idea. Now, moving on to number 14. Number 14 is in no doubt Scooby-Doo Mystery Mayhem. Now, why would I say that? The story was alright. I mean, for fuck's sake, you get a magical book, but at the same time, it's like there's only 5 areas, and most of the monsters are made up. I'm not even kidding. They kept the mummies the same, but as far as like the zombies and the fucking shadows, when did they ever tackle a shadow monster, except for maybe the Phantom Shadow, which that could be what it's based off of, but no. Scooby-Doo Mystery Mayhem takes the that particular spot because some of the monsters are made up. I mean, the story is okay, the story's good, but the monsters are just the clincher for me. And not only that, I mean, powering up the book, having to stop and power up the book is also a pain in the ass. But yeah, that's legit all I have to say. The character interactions are really good. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for number 14. Number 13 would probably have to be... Ooh, this one's gonna be a very difficult one. We're getting down the wire. Number 13 would definitely have to be... Sorry if I can't think right now. It's just like there's so many things that I had planned. 13 would probably be Scooby-Doo Unmasked. Now, I don't exactly have a copy of this game now, but when I was younger, I did remember playing it, and I really, honestly, I loved the premise of it, but some of the levels were a bit dark. And when I say dark, I don't mean dark in tone. I mean dark like the lighting. The lighting was off. Like, half the time I could not see where I was going. Again, couples with my visual problem. But, I mean, even though that part was a pain in the ass, you did actually get not really an unlimited life system, but you could collect ingredients to make things to eat that could give you another dog tag. And that's another thing I forgot to mention with Sweet and Mystery Mayhem. There was no dog tag system, there was just a life bar, but it was a really weird life bar. Plus they had the life bar for the Tome of Doom, which, yeah, dragged the game down for me. But what drags Unmasked down for me is, yeah, again, the horrible lighting, and sometimes you don't know where in the fuck you're going, because it's not like the game will give you a direction, like a bar at the top of the screen reading the directions to you like the Kingdom Hearts series does. And that's why I love the series. But that's one thing that Rechain of Memories did not do, which is why I placed it as low as I did. But Scooby-Doo Unmasked takes the number 13 spot. Now, number 12 would probably have to be would probably have to be Shrek the Third. the video game. I mean, I like the game, but at the same time, it's like playing as Arthur or Artie or whatever his name is. I mean, I liked the dungeon sewer sections with Fiona, but the sections where you had to play as Arthur, fuck you. This kid has no, like, he cannot do anything. He can't attack very well. He can't defend very well. What's the point of playing as him? Oh, and don't even get me started on the Shrek mission where you had to find him. And he kept hiding. When you were infiltrating the school grounds to get him, at a point, there's a fucking maze, okay? And that's another thing that's legit gonna bring this down, is some of the level design is horrible. It is. And not to mention, Artie's voice actor, even in the movie, sorry, they should have given Artie a different voice because he sounds way too scratchy. I understand he's supposed to maintain the illusion of a teenager, but we'll get into that a little later. But Shrek the Third takes the number 12. Spot on this list. Number 11. Number 11 is, it's actually kind of a tough one, really, because, I mean, I was exposed to a lot as a kid, but not as much. But I think number 11 would probably have to be the game based on Spider-Man 2. Now, I'm not one to really take a liking too much to the Spider-Man franchise. I mean, Spider-Man's okay for what it was. But the game Spider-Man 2 for PS2, it actually was a lot of fun. The only drawback is sometimes you would lose track of where you were going, and then most of the time it's like you have to stay up in the air. If you fall into the streets, it's game over. But they don't do a very good job of expliciting that very well. I mean, I understand that they made the bottom, like, green or whatever, but it's not like, and it's not like I could avoid falling down into the streets either. Alright? Question. What the fuck am I supposed to grapple onto? It's not like I can just grapple onto a light pole. You know? It's not like I can just swing a web at a light pole. And don't even get me started. I mean, if I can get to a top of a building, I'm fine. But trying to get from building to building can be a pain in the ass. Because of the controls. Like, sometimes I will press a button that got me to swing from point to point. But at the same time, it's like, really? I fell because I hit a fucking sign. For example, okay? I was hoping I could just hit the sign and then go over it. But no, I fell because I hit the sign. And for me, Spider-Man 2 takes the number 11 spot on this list. now we're halfway down the list, and here we are with number 10. Number 10 for me would have to be, I can't really choose, but for some reason for me, even though I haven't played these games, I've seen them played, I've seen a friend of mine play them, the Epic Mickey franchise. I can see where my partner Jackson was going with having Oswald the Lucky Rabbit as a secret boss in Kingdom Hearts 3, because he's essentially a villain, and you know, I kind of like the concept of using a paintbrush. I really do. I kind of like the concept of using a paintbrush, and, am I the only one that thinks that, Yen Sid's incorporation was awesome? Please tell me I'm not the only one. Number 9 on this list is, oh boy. Number 9 on this list is another Kingdom Hearts game. Now, the Kingdom Hearts game that I would label as a number 9 for me would be Kingdom Hearts Recoded, because of the fact that, okay, I like Recoded for a few reasons, but my reasons of liking Recoded outweigh my reasons of hating Recoded outweigh my reasons of liking it, but my reasons of liking it is the reason why it ended up on this list. The reasons I like Recoded is because, okay, I get tired of reading the speech bubbles, but at the same time, it's like I have a lot of fun with it because I can put my own personal voice acting talent into it, which is, you know, a really cool aspect because I have a Riku impression that's really good. Oh, and speaking of data, ladies and gentlemen, my first guest throughout this entire countdown. Would you like to introduce yourself? Hello, everyone. I'm Data Riku. So what brings you here? What brings me here is the fact that you had mentioned the game that I was involved in on this list, and not only that, but the fact that you said that there's a certain special moment that you like. Yes, there is, and I'll tell you what it is. I believe I know what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I will let you tell me anyway. The moment that I am particularly interested in, Riku, is the argument between you and Sora. Speaking of which, hiya. Ah! Holy crap! Sorry, you scared me. Sorry. Well, since you both are here, could you maybe give the audience a little bit of that argument. Alright. Riku, you start. Sora, I'm sorry. Riku, stop. It's not your fault. And you know what? You've got to stop doing everything by yourself. I liked getting dragged into your predicaments, and I still do. But can you blame me? I should never have let the bugs in like this. Every time, it's me against an outside force. I always seem to give in. Riku? Question. How many worlds have we been to now? Huh? Because not too long ago, the answer to that question would have been only one. We've got the whole universe inside. There are worlds inside us. Try to let that sink in. Incredible. But you know, no matter the world, no matter how far, you're always the same. You're right. There may still be outside forces trying to pull you in. But I know you're not going to lose. Everything you touch makes you stronger. It always has. Sora. Sounded wise beyond my years, didn't I? A little flowery, but you made your point, Half-Pint. Hey, don't think I'm not gonna remember that when I'm taller than you. I look forward to the day that happens. Thank you guys so much for that. And some of it did come from the HD perspective, but oh, we forgot one part. Datascape, Sora, don't you say sorry again. But are we friends or not? Be right back. I also, in particular, agreeing with those two, do you guys agree on the fact that, you know, the moment where the both of you appeared in Disney Castle, of course, Sora, you appeared first. Yes. And then Riku appeared second. Right. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that moment, but let's move on to the next spot. Where are we? We are on number 8. Number 8 would probably definitely be I can't remember the title of this game, but it was all the way back on the Nintendo 64. It was like you were controlling this airplane and you had to fly through obstacles, and you had so many people like trying to talk you through how to get through the obstacles. Like at one point you had an eagle or whatever, but actually Actually, no, I'm not gonna put that one on here because I can't remember the title. But what I will do is put Bowser's Inside Story. Now, the reason I would say that is because from what I've heard, it is pretty interesting, and I've seen a friend try to play it. And the best thing about it is, it's an RPG. So, yeah, that's definitely a big thing for me. Number 6. Oh boy. There are so many different games to choose from, but I think number 6 would most likely have to be the first Kingdom Hearts. Now, the reason I placed it in between on this list is because, well, I love this game. I do. And I have, like, so many freaking nostalgic memories. Okay, I did not play it as a child, but when I first got a copy of the game, back for PS2, I actually was very excited, and I played it. Well, at first, I was like, because I sucked at it. But when I got 1.5 and discovered that I can go beginner mode, you know, Final Mix Beginner, I played it, and I had a lot of fun with it. Now, the Clayton Stealth Sneak still gets me. The Clayton Stealth Sneak boss fight, that does still get me a lot. But maybe if your party members were smarter and didn't die so many times, Donald. Jesus fucking Christ. If you didn't die so many times, then you would be the perfect party member. Now, Goofy, on the other hand, hey, Goofy, you quit dying too. I'm serious. In that game, I swear, the AI is not smart. It's a little wonky, but I still love it. But don't even get me started on the shit with Deep Jungle. I hated the backtracking aspect because Deep Jungle was so difficult. And not only that, the reason why I placed Kingdom Hearts 1 where it is on this list is because during battle, you could not open any treasure chests. Literally. And don't even get me started on the confusing bullshit with Monstro. I don't like that world. Well, I can't say that I don't like it anymore. But I still don't like that world. So, that was taking the number 6 spot. What's going to be taking the number 5 spot is, you know what? Fuck it. Number 5 will definitely, for me, will probably have to end up being, this is a very old game, and a lot of people would not be surprised by seeing this on the list. Actually, no. Number 5 would probably have to end up being Sly 4 Thieves in Time. The reason I say this is because, well, and since you are so lucky that this game is high on the list, I love the game. I really do. I really do. But there are just some things that make me hate it. Like the archery missions. Again, with my vision, I'm terrible at them. The shooting missions, okay, yes. I'm fucking terrible at any sort of mission that involves a turret or a gun or a bow and arrow, with the exception of one game which I'll talk about later. But yeah, the dramatic plot twist which Penelope turns on Bentley, I am not very happy with that. Now, in my point of view, I think Bentley should get his revenge for that shit. But reading a synopsis on what other people think that Sly 5 would be like, maybe that won't make any sense. I don't see that making sense. But number 4 would definitely have to be Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Now, the reason I placed this high is because Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, I loved the what are they? Shot locks. I loved the different shot locks. I loved the different worlds you got to go visit. With the exception of fucking Deep Space. I wish that world would just crawl and die in a hole. I don't know what was wrong with that. It was stupid. I mean, I'm glad to see the Grand Councilwoman because, like, she was one of my favorite characters in the first Lilo and Stitch. But I admit, her model in the movie did look really scary. Which, her model in game was not that bad. A bit of a fun little fact, remove content here. Pleakley was supposed to be featured in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, but he was scrapped and deleted due to time constraints. If you hack the game's code, you can still find an untextured model of Pleakley. But that being said, let's move on to the next let's move on to number 3. Number 3 will have to end up being, now I understand that there are a lot of nostalgic games on this list that I favor, but, you know, I'll make a part 2 if needed. Number 3 will definitely end up being Sly 2 Band of Thieves for the PlayStation 2, and as well as the Sly Collection for PS3. Which, since again, you're lucky. The reason being that Sly 2 is on this list is because it was the first to change the formula of Sly Cooper. You had the linear levels, the linear objectives, and Sly 2 definitely changed that by hiding the clue bottles in a massive area that you could explore, and it introduced the concept of pickpocketing, which is really neat. I love that concept. I hope they bring it back in Sly 5 if they make a Sly 5, which I hope they do. Now, the reason I say that it earns the number 3 spot was because, well, in my opinion, you know, there were some horrible moments. Like, the moment that landed this game on the thing in the first place is not, it's also because they changed the linear layout or whatever. But that one moment when Bentley finally gets paralyzed, like, Jesus Christ. Okay. Like, Jesus Christ. That moment actually did make me cry because Bentley is my favorite character. I mean, Bentley made me cry anyway because of the fact that, you know, the way he was designed and some of his background, which I found from YTM Vivi, he was actually, I guess he ran away from home, but maybe there was something wrong. Maybe his parents died, or maybe his parents had other siblings and they just simply didn't care about him because he was different. To me, is Bentley's like me. I'm like Bentley, okay? He's smart, I'm smart. He has a visual impairment, I have a visual impairment, and, you know, the both of us can think of plans, like, on the, you know. But anyway, I'm babbling again. Here I go again. Number 2 would have to be The World Ends With You from Square Enix. Again, another Square Enix game. The World Ends With You is a very, very good game for the Nintendo DS/3DS. You get to play as this kid named Neku Sakuraba, and you're going through 3 weeks of this game called the Reaper's Game. Each week, though, you get taken to a white room to see if you live or if you have to participate again. For those of you that have played the game or haven't, the second partner you get, Yoshida Kiryu, aka Joshua, he's definitely my favorite. And I've already done this, so I've already done this on accident, so why don't I just bring it up again? The reason I like Joshua is because of the fact that, you know, he's a very smart kid, and he was practically misunderstood. No one would listen to him. And, I can kind of see that happening, because myself, it's like, okay, kid, I can totally relate to you. You know, he's very smart too, you know. People just don't see things the way that he does, and I really wish they would. And part of me, even though he kind of reminds me of Bentley in a way, because he's very intelligent, but I feel that he himself also has a visual impairment, even though, like, he doesn't wear glasses or anything, but just the way he acts, the way he is able to... Okay, for example, sometimes, like, he will... You know what? No, let me get to the number 1 spot, and then I'll tell you. This game leads me to number 1. Number 1 on this list is Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. Now, why? Why would that take the number 1 spot? Well, just like number 2, they have certain characters in it too that make a humongous cameo appearance. The World Ends With You comes back. And this is where I was talking about last time with Joshua and how intelligent he is and how I believe he could be visually impaired. And another reason I like is because he's an angel. Now, I really like that fact. Like, also, did he just grow fucking wings? Like, yo, around the end of The World Ends With You, you would find that out. That he's not alive. He just maintains the appearance of someone who is. By vibe control. And if you don't know what vibe control is, I guess I can't really explain it either. But turning up or turning down the vibe. But anyway, Joshua, like, there's a scene that's when he looks at Riku and kind of, you know, blinks his eyes a bit. That right there is a reason that sets me into thinking that he is visually impaired, because when I look at some stuff, sometimes I blink my eyes and I can't see very far ahead, but with the use of portals, Joshua can control where he goes, which is great. Which is why I think another reason he relies on what he can do instead of trying his best with what he can't. But in reality, I think he's a very good character. But yeah, I mean, me and him, we are, like, similar. In a way. Just like how me and Riku are similar, me and Joshua are similar as well. In fact... Hello? Joshua. What's going on? Oh. Doing another countdown, I see. Mm-hmm. Hello. This is Joshua, aka Yoshida Kiryu. And not only am I here, but Riku's here as well. Hey guys. Back again, but this time I'm not in dad form. So, I couldn't help but notice that when you were mentioning your second and first slot for this list, you intertwined us both together. Correct. I did. And I'm very grateful also to have you technically as a guardian. Because like Riku, she treats me like a son as well. Yeah. More like, practically pretty much. The reason being is because no one really knows how you died. Hell, I don't even know how it happened. The reasons were black from you as well? Yes. Unfortunately. But with a little help, I'm pretty certain I'll find it in the future. Nice. Now, would you like to explain, Joshua, would you like to explain to the viewers some of your powers and abilities and what I mean by thinking that you could be possibly visually impaired? Well, you're right about the visual impairment part. Although, with me being dead, it's really not that bad. Because, you know, I don't have any reason to, you know, get so worked up over it. You, on the other hand, I can understand why you're up in arms over it. Because, in reality, I think there's a lot here to explain. I get what you're trying to say. Like, you're trying to say, like, I'm quote unquote an angel trapped in a human body. Right. Because you have special abilities too. For example, your ability to communicate with spirits, that's an ability I have as well. Your ability to give beings not really a physical form, but a spiritual form. Again, by linking dream pieces back together, maybe I could make them exist again. Maybe I could give them another chance. Right? But, as far as backgrounds and stuff, practically got everything covered, except for one thing that would be a very interesting thing to talk about. And what's that? Your special attack. Oh, you mean my Jesus beam? It would be kind of cool to, you know, use that again in Kingdom Hearts 3 if I was ever given the chance. The last time I used it was definitely in The World Ends With You. I want to say my 4th mission with Neku Sakuraba? Maybe? Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Right? But, anyway, guys, that's it for, my top 20. Wait, unless there's something else I should probably cover. No. that's it for my top 20, my personal favorite top 20 video games of all time. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Thank you to my special guests that had appeared. Thank you to both sides, both Riku's and Joshua. Please, we had no problem. You're a very awesome person and we wouldn't mind. Isn't that the truth? Thanks, guys. But anyways, we're signing off for now. So you know the drill. Comment, rate, subscribe to become a Keyblade wielder, and stay awesome. Who knows? Maybe I'll feature more countdowns, and maybe I'll feature more special guests. Seeing as how you guys like the first entry into that, I did this again, so let's see how you guys like it. Drop a like if you wish, share if you wish. Like I said, comment, rate, subscribe to become a Keyblade wielder, and stay awesome. So, yeah. Peace, and I'll see you guys later. And thanks for watching.